Someone in his corporation has, though.
Oh,
Who?
for sure.
Who?
All right, let's do this.
What?
Audacity. I started Audacity.
Good.
No. We're way too fucked up to be starting Audacity. What are you doing? Huh?
Hello and welcome to the Filter Free Podcast. I am your host, TJ Stevens.
Problematic.
Out of my left earbud.
Getting off to a banging start here.
Joining me as always,
Step hens.
Dollar Bill Dave.
I touched myself.
I just need to clip that. Just Dave leaning for I touched myself.
And Timmy C.
Goo, goo, goo.
Dave's is awesome, and he got a new hat, and it's hilarious. Are you drunk? Yes or no? And it's marked on the right-hand side for both.
Time limit drawers get my panties wet. I love it.
We've covered this butt wipe on a few different occasions.
Butt wipe?
You don't call people butt wipe anymore?
No. I'm not 7. Good news is I've limited the producer's amount to screw us over this, so we're actually going to get to sing along with the songs now. You are welcome.
You gotta play for your right to party! Hello and welcome to the Filter Free Podcast.
Hey.
Yeah,
Dave is awesome.
he is.
And he got a new hat.
Kirk sucks.
Jesus Christ, man. Let it go. Let it go. Let it go.
I'm wearing this shit to Ireland.
Okay.
They won't know what it means.
Yeah.
This is weird.
Kirk will when he sees it. Oh, whore ass.
By the way,
I
did I tell you guys I'm going to Germany in March?
Is he Irish?
He's going to be at the game day. He's going to be at the game.
Oh.
I'm going to Germany in March, but it's for work. But I'll still be in Germany for a week.
Dugan Schnauzer.
Yeah,
That's
Drinking
excited.
beer.
That's
Excited.
penis in German.
I don't believe that.
It is. Go
Is
ask
it?
the lady to touch your Dugan. No, I don't know. Fuck.
That's what Dugan tells her. I don't see her dog.
She's going to punch you in the
Talking
nose.
about?
Yeah. Joining me as always, Dollar Bill Dave
Kirk Herbstreit sucks.
and Timmy C.
Let it go, man. Who?
Please remember to subscribe and rate this show wherever you get your podcast. While you're at it, follow the show on Twitter at FF Podcast, on Instagram at Filter Free Podcast. Follow our Patreon network at Filter Free Net on Twitter. And Timmy, if they become a member at www.patreon.com/filterfree, what do they get with all that? All that $10.
You will get Legends. Let's rethink this. Football is getting paid with Tim and Dave when Dave starts watching football again. Evolution of Evil. Wrestling with commercials. Plus our list of 2024 events of bus rides, which I'm sure to come. And events starting with the Royal Rumble. Dave will be hosting. We appreciate that. Everyone, come see us at the Rumble. Well, come see Dave at the Rumble.
Dave and Justin and others.
And
The Fun
the
Director.
Fun Director. I forgot about him.
Blaine will be there.
Blaine. Which, by the way, if you're listening to this, I'm like, oh man, you know, I'm sure with just them three going, they're like not that many people go. It's been sold out for 6 weeks. The suite, yeah, that's how
The
fast
Suite Life?
it goes.
Oh.
Yes, the Suite Life. That's how fast this shit goes. It's been sold out since December. So the next time we do it, whenever that is, make sure you don't miss out. You get. Sometimes we do blocks of hotels. I think we did it for this one. Pretty sure we did. Yeah. You get discounted hotel rates. You get a sweet ticket to the event of whatever one we're going. We've done St. Louis Royal Rumble. Now we've done Tampa Royal Rumble. We've done Nashville SummerSlam. We've done 2 all-ins. Okay, this is what we do. You get to hang out with us for the weekend.
We did WrestleMania back in Vegas at number 9.
That's true. One of us was on the elephant when it came out. But also, when we get our suite, we have a beer full of fridge. Now, a fridge full of beer, I should say. Now, if you don't pay for any beer, you get none out of the fridge. I have to make these rules clear because this has happened. If you pay for beer ahead of time, you get some beer. But if you do not get beer from the fridge.
If you buy the fridge, you might get some beer.
Maybe. Timmy, what's on your mind for our current topic for this week?
How about the retirement of Nick Saban?
I mean, there's a lot.
Roll
Belichick got fired.
Belichick,
Saban retired.
and Pete Carroll retired.
No,
I think Pete Carroll was pushed out.
Pete Carroll got fired.
Well, Pete
he got reassigned.
Pete Carroll's retiring.
He got reassigned. He is now in charge of making sure the jock straps are clean on Saturday. Kirk sucks. What? Will you stop? By the way, speaking of the colors, what's the Native American guy that got fired from the Commanders?
Ron Rivera.
Yeah,
Rivera.
Riverboat Ron also fired.
Well, I mean, if you want to go overall, Frank Reich was fired. All of the Bears coaches, except Matt Eberflus, was fired.
Hey,
but
Arthur Smith was fired.
Frank Reich was fired week 10. We're about 3 months late on that.
How was Dennis Allen not fired?
Brandon Staley fired. Arthur Smith was fired.
Yeah, he deserved
D'Amico Ryan killing it with Houston.
Yeah, he's crushing it.
By the way, killed the Browns.
45-14 just now.
I picked that. Yeah.
I did not.
I did.
The Texans won that game and actually outscored my total score by themselves.
The Texans won that game by 47 million.
So thanks, Houston.
Only 2 people got extra points in the playoff pool. You did not, Tim. You got 10 for the win. You didn't get extra points.
What do you get extra points for?
The score.
The score.
Stupid.
Tell me they did not pick 45-17 or whatever.
No, they picked the total score.
So they picked over 62.
Quello was closest at 56. The final was 59. No, it was 56. Or 40, it was 59. It was 45-14,
right.
59. Quello had 56. And one of my other buddies had 50. So he got 1, Quello got 7.
Let's see. I think I had 51 was mine.
I think it was 19 people picked.
Oh, I had 41.
19 people picked Cleveland to win and 8 people picked Houston. If I'm not mistaken.
I thought their defense would win the game for him, and I
did too.
Has anyone ever seen a defense look shitty as that? Terrible.
Well, an alleged, top of the league defense that just got murdered by the Houston Texans, which I'm pretty sure has never been said before.
And then Dave disappeared.
And then Dave quit. He's really
again.
upset.
Again.
He's newly transplanted Alabama guy. He's really upset Nick Saban retired.
Nope. Love it.
Oh.
Roll Tribe.
Roll Tribe. Please tell me that's going to be another hat of yours.
Sure, I'll get one. Roll
I love
Tribe.
It. Send me. I'll wear it. Send me one. I'll wear it.
Which tribe?
Florida State.
Seminole Tribe.
Ron
Florida.
Simmons.
Former WCW World Heavyweight Champion, Florida State Seminole legend, Ron Simmons.
So, I mean, obviously the 3 big ones, right, is Belichick, Saban, Pete Carroll.
Yep.
So what Alabama has their replacement. New England has their replacement. They're hiring Gerard Mayo, who was just an active player 2 years ago. But to be fair, the Texans are doing it right now with D'Amico Ryans. So let's start with the Patriots. Where do you see the Patriots now with Gerard Mayo as their head coach and not Bill Belichick?
It's going to depend on the draft pick, who they pick.
They just went 3-14.
What, 3?
3-14. I don't think one draft is going to fix them.
No, they need Jesus.
They do.
A quarterback can fix you. Trust me.
You think they have to give up on Mac Jones?
Peyton Manning won 4 games his rookie year.
Okay. And the next year, what did he do?
9-7.
I don't think that's right.
That is okay. Okay. So what was his second year would have been 2000, yes? Well, he drafted in 98. So actually his second year would have been 1999. 1999 Indianapolis Colts. By the way, Troy Aikman won 2 games his rookie year.
Yep. But we're talking Mac Jones. He's been there like.
The 99 Colts win 13-3.
Yeah.
Okay.
I thought
Okay.
they'd won
Yeah.
a lot more.
Quarterback fixed it.
Yeah, him by
the way,
himself.
Cincinnati Bengals 2-14. Joe Burrow. What'd you do next year? Well, he injured himself. So
What'd they do this year?
he also injured himself.
Because he's made of glass.
Incorrect.
I swear to God, it sounds like they're pushing down refrigerators downstairs. What are we doing?
What are we doing? Hey, it's not my house for once. Although my furnace is probably going to kick on at some point because, it's 8 up here where I live right now, degrees.
80?
So Belichick, Timmy thinks a quarterback can save the team, which I think is absolutely moronic. Dave, what do you think of the Patriots?
They got to go quarterback. They have to. Mac Jones sucks.
He does.
There are 3, right?
Roll Tide. They're in the top 3 or 4. Yeah.
So you're getting Caleb Williams or Penix.
Drake May or Penix. Yeah.
Fuck Drake
Penix?
May. No.
Or McCarthy from Michigan.
He's coming back. He's
what?
trash.
No. He's like a 4th round pick.
He's projected second, actually.
He's like a XFL 3rd rounder.
Oh.
Yeah, he's terrible. It's UFL now, by the way.
But what I'm asking, what the people want to know, Dave, are the Patriots a drafted quarterback away from turning it around?
Yes.
No, they need more help.
Thank you.
No, they have a great defense.
They need some receivers.
They should rehire Belichick as the defensive coordinator.
I would almost say the Patriots need Marvin Harrison Jr. more than they need a quarterback.
How do I kick Tim out of this chat?
You just click on his picture.
I don't have that power.
All right, here. There
we go.
So
he's a moron.
I actually believe that the Patriots need Marvin Harrison Jr. worse than they need a quarterback.
What?
What
Who
part
the
of that?
fuck is gonna throw to him?
Mac
Bailey Zappa.
Well, if you could draft Marvin Harrison
Pronounced
Jr.
his name wrong.
If you can get Marvin Harrison Jr. and then draft McCarthy in the 2nd round.
Will you let go of the Michigan quarterback? He's terrible.
He is not good.
But there was another
He is
guy.
the bright
Jaden Daniels.
young of this draft.
Jordan Travis.
There you
Florida
go.
State
Jack
Seminole legend.
Daniels is what they need. They need Jack Daniels.
You know who else is a terrible quarterback? Kirk Herbstreit.
Kirk Herbstreit.
Pretty sure he's not a quarterback.
Oh, let's move on. He was a quarterback. Number 4 in your program's number 1 in your heart. So let's move on from New England to the Seahawks. Pete Carroll out. Where do you think the Seahawks go from here?
Well, I mean,
Also
the Seahawks
need
can only go so
quarterback.
far with Geno Smith. I
Yeah.
mean, you're 9-8 is your ceiling with Geno Smith.
They were just in the playoffs last season, but I do believe they were 9-8.
See,
Yes.
And then Alabama, Nick Saban. They got the new coach. Dave, you know his name. I forgot.
Kalen DeBoer.
Thank you. From Washington.
I find it odd that the best 2 openings were immediately filled by people that no one had heard of.
So what was the other one? New England?
Yeah. New England and Alabama.
My guess,
Like
that
Hall of Famers retire, already
what?
got it in.
that's
Fuck
an
it.
interesting point. I believe in my heart of hearts, Alabama probably knew Nick Saban was retiring before the season started. Or at least it might happen.
ESPN did too. That's why they put him in the fucking playoff. Bullshit.
And then I also bet Robert Kraft probably knew he was letting go to Belichick after the season was over.
Yeah, Belichick needed a good year to
he
keep
probably
it.
didn't,
It was
but
time.
after about 6 games, he was like, nope. I'm
And
done
then
with this.
Gerard Mayo, I've never heard of this before, but Gerard Mayo actually had a succession clause in his contract to where if Belichick left, he would be the next head coach.
Which is weird
Yeah.
because it wasn't like he was coordinator of anything. Like
No.
he's the linebackers coach.
Yeah,
What?
he was not Bill O'Brien before this. He was just the linebackers. I shouldn't say just the linebackers coach, because I'm pretty sure that's how D'Amico Ryan's got his spot. Well, no, he was a defensive coordinator before he was made the head coach.
Yeah. Doesn't make it every time.
So where does this leave Alabama? Do they make the playoffs next season?
In Alabama.
Thank you, Timmy, for contributing. Dave says no, they do not make the playoffs next year.
No, they're losing a lot.
Even with an 8-team or 12-team playoff?
Ain't buying it.
Nope. Maybe with a 12, they might. They could finish 12th.
Then they're going to 12 next year.
Incorrect.
Well, they are in the SEC, so even if they lose 6 games, ESPN will be like, well, they deserve to be in the playoffs. They're Alabama, and I'm Kirk Herbstreit, and I say so because I'm a little bitch.
Top 5.
I'm so glad we're recording this right now. Top 5 what?
You think Alabama?
They will finish in the.
You think Alabama, the new head coach, is going to finish in the top 5?
Yep. DeBoer's good, man. Look what he did with Washington.
Let me.
I think Georgia is going to be the team to beat next year.
Of course.
This is the transfer portal era. He's bringing them with him, and they're Gucci.
Georgia, Ole Miss, and Tennessee are going to be really good next year.
Okay, let me throw this wrench in the works. Jim Harbaugh stays at Michigan next year.
That's not going to happen.
It's called a wrench in the. That's why I said wrench in the works. Jim Harbaugh stays at Michigan. Does that change anything?
Michigan should be.
You act like his coaching matters. His coaching doesn't matter. He missed half the games this year. They still won the national championship.
He missed 3
That's
games.
just because Florida State wasn't in it.
No,
he didn't. He missed
3
6.
on the front, 3 on the back.
Yeah.
You missed 6 altogether?
Yeah.
Yep.
Because his college team's full of criminals and stealing signs and shit.
How dare you
scout? Stallions.
How dare you scout your
opponents? Out
opponents?
there stealing signs.
Yeah, I love in the NFL or the NCAA they call it cheating. In the NFL, they call it Tuesday.
Mustache. Central Michigan. Fake mustache.
Well, I mean, New England got in trouble for doing that shit too.
Well, they were recording the practice.
So was Michigan.
he.
I thought he was sending people though to do it, or like he was. I thought he wasn't involved. Allegedly,
sure he wasn't.
Yeah,
that's what Belichick said.
Well, he's full of shit too. They said he had a whole library. Belichick had a whole library.
Of course he did.
Yeah,
with no books, library, no
the
books.
Deflategate. So we have New England. Timmy says they make the Super Bowl next season when they draft whichever quarterback it is. Seattle is going to be 9-8, and then Alabama. Dave says it's going to be. Timmy says it's going to be top 5, and then Dave says they'll be in the 12-team playoff, which I think Dave on all 3 accounts is much more reasonable. So, what is there any other football news outside of Houston just blowing the doors off Cleveland? Do we need to discuss?
It's cold in Kansas City.
It's very cold in Kansas
City.
It's
very cold, and the ground looks hard.
They've had one drive, and they've already put Taylor Swift on TV like 3 times.
Timmy and I were discussing something before we started recording this about.
Oh, there she is again.
So Buffalo, no, it's probably the same shot. You're just behind. So Buffalo and Pittsburgh getting moved to Monday because of the snow. And I was telling Timmy, I said, of every famous, like historically famous NFL game, right? You have the Freezer Bowl, the Ice Bowl, the Tuck Rule game, the Fog Bowl, the Mud Bowl, the Epic in Miami. All these
Mud Bowl?
Yeah.
They played in mud.
They played in mud. So it was all these legendary games. Remember Pittsburgh played on Monday night and won 3-0 because of the turf in Miami. But we have
every week.
We have all these like very famous weather games in the NFL to me. Now, I know it's a different world now than it was in the 60s. But to me, it's the NFL. You cannot postpone or cancel a game, barring a hurricane is next to the stadium, for weather.
Well, to be fair, the NFL didn't.
The governor of New York.
The governor of New York did.
And that's why I told
because they've shut down the streets, so people can't
Fuck
get
that
to the
bitch.
game.
Sorry.
What are we yelling at?
Probably should have waited tomorrow to record. Look, judging by these reactions we're getting right now. I don't know if that was warranted just now.
I'm a huge Steelers fan.
Yes, you are. But I don't know. Like, to me, I get a bad taste in my mouth when. And also now you have this conspiracy theory that, well, they didn't postpone the Kansas City game, so Kansas City would beat Miami, and they'll get deeper in the playoffs because of Taylor Swift, which is the dumbest shit I've ever heard in my life. And I told Timmy to elaborate on this conspiracy theory, and he goes, I'm not saying Kansas City is going to win the Super Bowl. They just want them to go to the Super Bowl. And I said, Timmy, what is the point of working your way around to get Kansas City to the Super Bowl and then not letting them win? That's dumb.
The Bucs are going to beat the Kansas City Chiefs in the Super Bowl.
I did. I picked the Bucs to win. I picked the Bucs. Dave knows. I picked the Bucs to beat the Eagles.
I didn't.
The Eagles are hot trash right now.
They are, but so are the Bucs. The last 2 weeks have been terrible for the Bucs.
Yeah, but for like the Eagles, it's been like the last third of the season.
Why does he keep shutting the video off? What are you doing?
Sneezing? I don't know.
Getting like a BJ.
Yes, that fast. Kirk sucks.
Anything else? Candy, apparently.
Anything else about the foosball before we get this show underway?
No, Mike Norvell signed an extension with Florida State. Be on the lookout.
Here you go, Timmy. Get the harpsichord ready, because this week we're going back to.
Hold on! Stop! I wasn't expecting that.
We only do this every week.
I got it ready.
January 28th, 1984.
This is why we're not on ad-free shows.
This is absolutely why. As we watch the Mid-Atlantic Championship Wrestling. However, before we get to that show, let's see what was happening in your world yesterday. Let's run through some events filter-free. Up first, stories that missed the cut. January 2nd, number 13 Ohio State beats number 15 Pitt 28-23 in the Fiesta Bowl. Number 3 Auburn beats number 8 Michigan in the Sugar Bowl 9-7. And unranked UCLA, 9-7 in 1984. I'm sure it was riveting. And unranked UCLA upsets number 4 Illinois 45-9 in the Rose Bowl.
That would be entertaining.
Yes. By the way, there is one more game in this bowl season we're gonna cover here in a little bit. January 4th, Night Court, starring Harry Anderson, debuts on NBC, where it ran for 9 seasons.
How did this miss the cut?
So what's great is the first time we were supposed to record today, I had the theme song ready to go, and now I don't. If you guys want to riff for a minute, I can get it back here real quick. This is
I'm
great shit.
Terrible with this, by the way.
There's gonna be some editing here, Timmy.
Good plan.
Well, it's not his fault. I'm not prepared.
It's totally his fault because you were prepared.
All right, Timmy, turn off the background music and let's prepare ourselves for the greatest theme song in the history of nighttime television.
Fresh Prince.
Also, we really need to discuss where they found John Larroquette after all these years to be on that show, the new Night Court.
They Googled him.
They Googled him. January 4th, Adrian Dantley ties Wilt Chamberlain's record for most made free throws in a game when he goes 28 of 29 from the line and leads Utah to a 116-111 win over the Houston Rockets.
Still 19,994 women behind him.
That was really specific. Why do you know that?
My uncle.
Is Adrian Dantley?
Yep.
Okay. January 7th, Chicago Cubs World Series winning legend John Lester is born in Tacoma, Washington.
And he just gave up another stolen base.
That's fine. We won the World Series. Doesn't matter.
You should have caught cancer for doing that.
I
Doing
really
that
wish you
again?
would stop saying that.
Yeah.
January 8th, the Los Angeles Raiders beat the Seattle Seahawks 30-14 in the AFC title game, and the Redskins beat the 49ers 24-21 in the NFC title game, setting up Washington and the Raiders in the Super Bowl. More on this later. A Super Bowl Dave forgot happened. There's good reason for that. January 9th, the Atlanta Braves pitcher Pascual Perez gets arrested for cocaine possession.
I'm sorry. I'll pick up Dave's slack. Natron means.
There you go. That's good. James Brooks. January 9th.
Christian Okoye.
Christian Okoye, the Nigerian Nightmare. A big day in music as the single Nobody Told Me by John Lennon is released posthumously, and Van Halen releases their biggest album ever, 1984.
I read that book.
When was that?
January 9th.
What year?
1984.
Oh, look what they did.
It's like they're fortune tellers.
They knew it was coming.
The year?
Haven't seen it.
They had a calendar.
Good for them. January 10th, Luis Aparicio, Harmon Killebrew, and Don Drysdale make it to the Baseball Hall of Fame.
Never heard of them.
Any of them?
Nope.
Wow. Don Drysdale.
They were all 40-11.
Don Drysdale was the second pitcher in the rotation with Sandy Koufax for the Dodgers.
I didn't watch the Dodgers back then.
Well, none of us were alive.
You were in
Tony
Brooklyn.
was,
That's why. You don't watch that shit.
January 11th, the highest scoring NBA game ever takes place as the Denver Nuggets beat the San Antonio Spurs 163-155. I should say this is in regulation without counting overtimes. 1 year earlier, Detroit had beaten the Nuggets 186-184, but that game went to triple overtime. 6 years later, in 1990, the Warriors beat the Nuggets 162-158 in regulation to break the record. Of the top 10 highest scoring games, Denver has played in 4 of them.
They need better defense.
Absolutely.
Pretty sure though, they might be beat this year. There's a lot of high scoring games this year.
There is. I think Indiana is the worst defense in the league, and they're giving up 127 points a game.
Good news is they're scoring 150.
No, they're not good. Indiana's not good. They were. They're not anymore. January 14th, the hits continue for the month as Madonna releases Holiday.
Holiday. Yeah. Celebrate.
Holiday. January 16th, Paul and Linda McCartney get arrested in Barbados for possession of weed.
The devil's lettuce.
The devil's lettuce in Barbados.
What a crackhead.
Yes.
If I were going to get arrested, Barbados sounds like a good place to get arrested.
I wouldn't. I don't know if I'd be mad at it. January 22nd, the Raiders blow out Washington in one of the most lopsided Super Bowls ever, 38-9, which is why we're not covering this in detail. Your MVP was Marcus Allen.
He ran for 22 touchdowns.
That was just the first quarter. They sat him after that. Actually, this is the famous clip where he went from one side of the field to the other and then scored. That's that game.
I could do that in Tecmo Super Bowl.
Sure.
With Bo Jackson.
Bo Jackson.
Matt Jackson, yes,
Yeah.
the Raiders, yes.
Or Thurman Thomas.
Nope.
Natron means.
Natron means. Roosevelt
James
Potts.
Brooks. If you had James Brooks, you could do it.
No.
You know who
Playing
wasn't
for
good
Tampa
in,
Bay.
You know
Playing
who
for
wasn't
Tampa
good
Bay.
in Super Tecmo Bowl?
Who?
Kirk Herbstreit.
Because he wasn't in it.
Correct.
Never scored shit.
That's true.
Hold on. All right. Let me know when you're going to start.
January 23rd.
I am a real American.
Hulk Hogan defeats the Iron Sheik in Madison Square Garden to win the WWF Championship. His run that lasted the referee angle on Saturday night's main event on February 5th, 1988.
Fight for your
Over
rights.
4 years. So, there you go. He started his title reign that lasted 4 years and a month here.
Go Hulkster.
3 years in a month.
This is 84.
Went to 88.
I skipped 86.
Went to February. I skipped 86. January 24th, Apple releases its Macintosh personal computer.
Terrible.
I have one.
Just not right now. I didn't add it too. It's what I edited the video on.
Yeah, my MacBook.
Yep. I play Oregon Trail on it. January 28th, Terms of Endearment with Robert Duvall and Shirley MacLaine win some gold at the 31st Golden Globes.
Never seen it.
Love Robert Duvall.
Robert Duvall's great. Because he's been great.
Rubbin is racing.
You know what I love about Robert Duvall? He plays Robert Duvall in every movie he's in. It doesn't
Like, what do you want me to do?
Well, he played Harry Hyde in Days of Thunder.
He did, but he was still Robert Duvall in that movie. By the way, Harry Hyde in Days of Thunder.
Harry Hogg. Harry Hogg.
That's what I meant.
Just like what I have. A Harry Hogg. What?
That's why you can't score.
His junk has disco fever.
It helps
like
cold trickle.
It's like a Vienna sausage
with sideburns
wrapped in dog fur.
Like Chewbacca just wandering through Endor. That was terrible. Don't do that ever again. January 28th.
Clifford the Little Red Dog.
Oh, it's red too?
Jimmy's got a red crayon.
Golden State's Warrior guard, now in his 21st season, Andre Iguodala is born in Springfield, Illinois.
I thought he retired.
I thought so too.
He did.
Well, okay. Well, he would have been in his 21st season this year.
Okay.
Stories in the wheelhouse.
Instead, he's retired.
Back to college football. January 2nd, the Orange Bowl takes place, pitting number 5 Miami against number 1 Nebraska, and what a game it was. This pitted the 12-0 Big 8 champion Nebraska Cornhuskers against the 10-1 upstart independent team coached by Howard Schnellenberger, the Hurricanes of Miami.
Schnellenberger. It
should also be mentioned that because this was the Orange Bowl, it was played in Miami at the Orange Bowl, the home of the Hurricanes.
Shocker.
Surely this helped, as 72,549 people poured into the stadium to watch the game that may crown the national championship Nebraska. It's not NBA, it's NBC. NBC had the TV coverage, but Don Kroenke, I think that's how you say his name, John Brody and Bill McCady on the call. Nebraska was heading into this game after smashing everyone in their path this season, except for a 14-10 win over Oklahoma State and a 28-21 win over Oklahoma. So they did not play well in Oklahoma.
Nope.
They also
good thing they didn't have to play Tulsa. They'd have been screwed.
That's absolutely correct. They also had the top 3 picks for the Heisman Trophy this year in Mike Rozier, future number 1 pick Irving Fryer, and quarterback Turner Gill. Nebraska averaged 52 points a game, and they beat Minnesota 84-13. Iowa State 72-29. Colorado 69-19. Kansas 67-13. And Syracuse 63-7.
And that's without throwing the ball.
Right. And also, if you remember earlier from Stories That Missed the Cut, Syracuse was in a bowl game.
Mm-hmm. They won their
against who?
I don't remember. In the Colorado game, Nebraska actually scored 7 touchdowns in 12 minutes in the third quarter. Miami was blown out in the season opener against Florida 28-3, but had run the table after that. But Nebraska was still viewed as the giant favorite, being favored by 11 points.
Fuck you, Tim Tebow.
Oh.
Although Nebraska was a big favorite in the game, they had a notable weakness, being that Nebraska played in the Big 8, which was known more for their rushing offenses. Their pass defense was suspect at best.
Suspect. They were also suspect.
Respect.
At best. At best.
After a back-and-forth game that was one for the ages, Nebraska head coach Tom Osborne showed he had balls the size of grapefruits. Nebraska scored a touchdown with 48 seconds remaining in the game to cut Miami's lead to 31-30. Instead of going for the nearly sure thing and tying the game, which would have given Nebraska the national championship.
Yes.
The Natty.
He trotted the offense back out on the field and went for 2 instead. Unfortunately, the
Dumbass.
2-point attempt was not successful, and Miami came out on top and was named national champions. Even though Miami entered the game ranked 5th, second-ranked Texas lost in the Cotton Bowl, while fourth-ranked Illinois lost in the Rose Bowl. Third-ranked Auburn finished the season 11-1 as well, capping off their year in the Sugar Bowl with the win over Michigan. The argument was that Auburn played a tougher schedule than Miami and should have been crowned the national champions. And now we're 40 years later, they still haven't figured this shit out.
Correct.
Well, they have. There's 12 teams, and oh, Jesus Christ. All right, no, we figured it out. FSU sucks.
Your mama
63-3.
with her pancake nipples.
All right. To hell with that. Let's talk Miami junior receiver Eddie Brown.
I got nothing.
Badass.
I got nothing.
Badass. The following year after this, Brown was a consensus first-team All-American and the first wide receiver in University of Miami history to amass over 1,000 yards receiving, with 220 of those coming in the famous Hail Flutie shootout with Boston College. Brown would leave Miami with school career records for receptions, receiving yards, and receiving touchdowns. In the 85 NFL draft, Brown was the second receiver selected behind Al Toon. Terrible.
Carr's brother.
And selected 13th pick overall by my beloved Cincinnati Bengals.
I hate this story already.
Three picks ahead of some scrub, Jerry Rice. I don't blame him. What the hell Jerry Rice do?
Outside of everything?
You know what he didn't do? In 1985, Eddie Brown won the NFL Rookie of the Year award with 53 receptions for 942 yards and 8 touchdowns. Jerry Rice didn't do that. In 1988, caught 53 passes. Let me repeat that. 53 passes for 1,273 yards. Got your calculators?
Yep.
Okay. How many yards per reception is that?
40.
Pretty close. And 9 touchdowns, topping the high-powered Bengals offense in yards and leading the Bengals to the
24 yards.
Oh,
Almost exactly.
40 would have been 2,000. I'm an idiot.
But still, 24 yards of reception.
It's pretty good.
Pretty good. Yeah. To the AFC Championship and Super Bowl 23.
How'd that Super Bowl go, Timmy?
Who?
The Bengals.
Who's Jerry Rice? I don't know who.
Oh, okay.
He won a couple Super Bowls.
One of them was this one.
Yeah.
And he was the MVP in that game.
By the way, Eddie Brown's team record for receiving yards was later surpassed by Chad Johnson's 1,355 yards in 2003, but it took Chad Johnson 37 more receptions than Brown. Eddie Brown was a stud.
A stud that never won shit.
24 yards a catch for an entire year.
But he got beat by Jerry Rice in the Super Bowl. Got the doors blown off him, really.
Yeah.
No, he didn't. He lost by 3 points.
Yeah.
Oh, that was that
all
one?
the way off.
That was the drive. Was that one?
Yes.
Okay.
Eddie Brown was a very good receiver.
Well, I'm glad we did that story in your wheelhouse. Let's see if the NFL in 1983 is in y'all's playoffs or in y'all's wheelhouses. Here we go.
But today, I'm the greatest of all time.
Running and wide.
All right, here we go. Box score trivia. We're doing NFL League Leaders 1983 season. Now, Timmy, after 1 week, Dave is up 13-11.
Okay.
We're close. We're close.
I'm winning.
You're not. You're down by 2.
I should be.
You're not. So here we go. We're starting 1983 passing touchdown.
Joe Montana.
Tied for 4th with 20.
Joe Theismann.
Ken Anderson.
Joe Theismann tied for 2nd with 29. Ken Anderson. No.
Dan Fouts.
No. If you
Ron
guys get-
Jaworski.
If you guys get another one, I will be shocked. No Jaws.
Neil Lomax.
Manning.
Neil Lomax tied for 7th with 20.
Archie Manning.
Archie Manning, no.
Dave Craig.
No. There's some waybacks on this list.
White. Danny White.
Danny White tied for 2nd with 29 of your Dallas Cowboys.
Was Dan Marino in there yet? Dan
Nope,
Marino?
he was drafted in 84 with Elway and Jim Kelly and Ken O'Brien and Todd Blackledge.
Bart Starr.
A Green Bay Packer is number 1. It ain't
Dan
Bart Starr.
Mikowski.
Nope, before Mikowski.
Dickey. Lynn Dickey.
Lynn Dickey led the league with 32. Look at this guy. Look at this man.
Give us teams.
Really? You think that's going to help? Okay, here's some teams. The Rams, the Falcons, the Chiefs, the Browns, the Bills, and you've guessed the other 5. So Browns, Chiefs, Falcons, Rams.
It's not Kozar. He was
No.
still in Miami.
It's quarterback before Kozar.
Did they have one? I thought it was Jim Brown.
Apparently he was half-ass decent. Jim Brown. Paul Brown.
Paul Bunyan.
Paul Bunyan.
All right, we're done. Yeah.
Here we go. Tied for 9th with the Atlanta Falcons, Steve Barkowski. And of the Rams, Vince Ferragamo.
Vince Ferragamo. Damn out, I miss him.
Tied for 7th with Neil Lomax, Bill Kenny of the Kansas City Chiefs. And tied for 4th with Joe Montana, Joe Ferguson of the Buffalo Bills, and Brian Sipe of the Cleveland Browns with 26. Let's go to rushing yards. This is a lot easier. I'm sorry, no. We're doing rushing touchdowns here in 83.
Eric Dickerson.
2nd with 18.
Tony Dorsett.
Tony Dorsett, no.
Marcus Allen.
Marcus Allen, tied for 10th with 9.
Kurt Warner.
4th with 13.
I hate you.
O.J. Simpson.
No. I love that you couldn't
Mayo.
finish it. No, O.J. Mayo, the shooting guard from USC. What are you
Earl
doing?
Campbell.
Earl Campbell tied for 5th with 12. Timmy, you're getting
James
blown
Brooks.
out now.
Did he might say Tony Dorsett? Was he in there?
He did say Tony Dorsett. No, he was not on the list.
Um,
We have New Orleans, Cleveland, New England, Minnesota.
James Wilder.
No.
Ernest
San
Biner.
Diego, Cincinnati,
Natron Means.
and Washington. No Natron
Who
Means.
the hell was running for us in 84?
I will tell you this.
Richard Nixon.
The president. He has my favorite name ever in sports. I will say that.
Red Rocket.
Let's see if the guys that are left.
Huge erection.
There's one that's in the Hall of Fame, and that's the guy from Washington. He's the only one in the Hall of Fame.
Oh, Altoon.
At running back.
Riggins. John Riggins.
John Riggins led the league with 24.
Altoon.
The Diesel. So we'll just
Altoon didn't make it.
here's the rest of your top 10. At 10th, Wayne Wilson of the New Orleans Saints. Tied for 7th, Ted Brown of the Vikings, Tony Collins of New England, and Mike Pruitt from Cleveland.
Terrible.
Tied with Earl Campbell
they
for 5th,
suck.
Chuck Muncie of the Chargers.
Chuck Muncie.
3rd,
Love it.
Cincinnati Bengals legend Pete Johnson with 14.
Never heard of him.
And you got the other 2. Here we go. Where's my other one? I had 3.
Sacks. Don't do sacks, please.
Receiving touchdowns. Here's what we're gonna do. I have 1, 2, 3, 4. You guys are probably gonna guess. So I'm gonna give bonus points, an additional point from somewhere that's Mark Duper is one of the 4. Mark Duper is on your
Mark
6.
Jackson.
Let me finish the rules for you guys to see random names off. So for
Right,
everyone outside
Did
the
he
top
say
4,
Mark Duper?
he did. If you get one
Oh,
outside the top
didn't hear
4, you'll get double points. Okay, and he's already got one. Mark Duper was
Dwight
one of the 4.
Clark.
Dwight Clark, 2 of the 4, tied for 7th with 8.
Dwight Evans.
Bob Evans,
Kellen Winslow.
tied for 7th.
I already said that. No, you don't get to claim that. Fuck off.
Wait,
You
you
didn't say
said
that.
you said Kellen Winslow?
No.
I said Kellen Winslow when we were talking about something earlier.
Well, you have Kentucky Shitternet, and it keeps dropping out. So
you didn't say Kellen Winslow.
we didn't hear it.
I did.
His son's Tampa Bay Buccaneer legend and rapist.
Rapist. I'll give a point to both for Winslow then.
Cleveland
Chris
Browns
Collinsworth.
legend.
No Collinsworth. There's one more guy in the 4.
Art Monk.
No.
Mark Clayton.
No.
No Mark Jackson.
Nope.
Al Toon.
Nope. 2 from St. Louis, Green
St.
Bay,
Louis.
Chicago, Washington, Seattle, another one from Green Bay, and the Raiders.
Oh,
And
what's the white guy from Seattle? Oh, fuck. I can see him.
You're on the way. I have his jersey, actually.
Don Beebe Sr.
And he ran for, I think he ran for office in the state of Washington.
Donald Trump.
Steve.
Ooh.
It's
almost
not
there.
DeBerg. I feel like it's Steve DeBerg, but it's
Largent.
Steve
not.
Largent.
Steve Largent.
Tied for 4th with the
God, I hate you. I gave you everything.
I gave it to both of you.
No, he only gets half a point.
Well, you both get a whole point.
That's
He
bullshit.
guessed Steve, and he said the white guy. That's right.
And Seattle.
And Seattle. Well, I said Seattle.
He was never going to get it.
All right, so one more guess each. If either of you can guess anyone else on this list, it's double points. Here's the teams again. St. Louis, Green Bay, 2 from St. Louis, including the league leader. Green Bay, 2 from
Which
Green
was
Bay.
the Cardinals. What the fuck?
Correct. Chicago, Washington, and the Raiders.
Are there any running backs on this list?
No, but the Raiders guy is a tight end. Number 46. I'll even give you that.
Ain't helping me.
No, I'm done.
Yeah,
can't think of
I'm
any.
good.
I'm
Here
trying to
we
think
go.
back to my old 80s video of like the best sports players of the 80s VHS tape I had.
Yep.
All
I had it.
tied for 7th
Marlboro.
with Dwight Clark and Kellen Winslow of the St. Louis Cardinals, Doug Marsh of the Green Bay Packers, futurely of the Buffalo Bills fame, James Lofton, Willie Gault of the Chicago Bears,
Oh,
And-
Willie Galt.
and from Washington, Charlie Brown. Tied for 4th with Steve Largent of the Green Bay Packers,
We
Paul
forget Snoopy's
Kaufman.
owner. Shit.
Huh?
Snoopy's owner.
Yes. Tied for 3rd of the, and 3rd of the Raiders, Todd Christensen, tight end. And 2nd from the Eagles, Mike Quick with 13. And your league leader was St. Louis, Roy Green, 14. So no one got bonus points. Right now it is 15-25, Dave.
Yes. Cricket.
What's your point?
My point is you were down by 2 and now you're down by 10.
Okay.
Okay. Timmy's like,
I knew those VHS tapes would come in handy one day.
Timmy's like, I can't wait to do an episode again without Dave. I'm going to catch up.
We could have done it tonight. I don't know.
January 14th, another story in Timmy's wheelhouse. The godfather of fatties everywhere, owner of the San Diego Padres and McDonald's, Ray Kroc, dies of heart failure at the age of 81.
Who?
Ray Kroc had quite the life as an entrepreneur. But before all of that, at the age of 15, Kroc lied about his age so he could become an ambulance driver for the Red Cross during World War I. After the Second Great War, Kroc became a milkshake mixer salesman. After delivering machines and parts to Richard and Maurice McDonald, the three entered an agreement to franchise their restaurant. Initially, Kroc actually sent a letter to Walt Disney, with whom he trained with as an ambulance driver, and Disney agreed to have McDonald's restaurants in the park, but only if they raised the price of the French fries from 10 cents to 15 cents, with Disney taking all of that 5-cent profit. Kroc told Disney to eat a giant pile of shit, and your mouths are stupid. Kroc would be the franchisee for McDonald's until 1973, when he retired from that and bought the San Diego Padres for $12 million. Initially, the team had been purchased by a Washington, D.C. grocery store chain owner, Joseph Dzansky. However, that sale was held up with legal troubles in court, and Kroc swooped in and bought the team. Kroc was known for being a little boisterous, including taking the stadium mic in a game against the Astros and declaring live, "I've never seen such stupid ball playing in my life." Eventually, he handed it over team business to his son-in-law, Ballard Smith.
After swindling the McDonald brothers and acquiring full rights of the fast food chain for $2.7 million, Kroc showed just how nasty he could be. Kroc craved the original location, but the brothers would not transfer to him the real estate and rights, as they decided to give the operation, property and all, to the founding employees. In his anger, Kroc later opened a new McDonald's restaurant near the original McDonald's, which had since been renamed the Big M because the brothers had neglected to retain the rights to the name. It is alleged that as part of the buyout, Kroc promised, based on a handshake agreement, to continue the annual 1% royalty to the original agreement, but there's no evidence of this beyond a claim by a nephew of the McDonald brothers. Contrary to popular belief, though, neither brother ever publicly expressed disappointment over the deal. They were just upset that their original restaurant got shut down. Speaking to someone about the buyout, Richard McDonald reportedly said he had no regrets. If you hadn't, go out of your way and watch the movie The Founder with Michael Keaton. It's the story of Ray Kroc and McDonald's, and it's phenomenal.
Hello. Is Ray Kroc's his motto of life YOLO?
Incorrect. Because I feel like Dick and Mac McDonald, their mantra was kind of like no regrets.
I loved him in the Doobie Brothers.
No regret. Not even one little letter. No they're
no
Scotty
regrets.
P. No
Regrets.
Scotty P.
No
Yeah.
regrets.
No regrets. No regrets. Not even one little. Yeah. Kroc became frustrated with the McDonald brothers' desire to maintain a small number of restaurants. Why would you want to do that? The brothers also consistently told Kroc he could not make changes to the things in the original blueprint, but despite Kroc's plans, the brothers never sent any formal letters that legally allowed the change in the chain. They sat there. That's literally what they did. Kroc maintained the assembly line speedy system for hamburger preparation, which why are we arguing about this? It's weird.
You are.
No, they did. I'm not. Kroc maintained the Speedy system for hamburger preparation, which was introduced to the McDonald's brothers in 1948. He standardized operations, ensuring every burger would taste the same in every restaurant.
Makes sense.
You guys ever been to McDonald's?
No, never.
Trash.
They all taste the same.
They do.
Dirt burgers.
Okay. He set strict rules for franchisees on how the food was to be made, portion sizes, cooking methods, and times, and packaging. Kroc also rejected cost-cutting measures. By the way, we need to emphasize this. Kroc also rejected cost-cutting measures like using soybean filler in the hamburger patties.
Oh, they
Okay.
taste different.
Well, but lots of places do.
Of course.
These strict rules were also applied to customer service standards, with such mandates as the money had to be refunded to clients whose orders were not correct. What? Or to customers who had to wait more than 5 minutes for their food.
That's everyone.
Yeah.
Now
Kind
it's
of
everyone.
happens now. By
Bring
the time
back
a
Big
Kroc-
Croc. Fix McDonald's broke ass shit.
Bring his dead ass back.
And also, quit hiring mouth breathers to be at the first window, will you please?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm talking to you, Top Knot.
By the time of Kroc's death in 1984, McDonald's had a huge number of 7,500 outlets in the United States and 31 in other countries and territories. By the way, it's like 35,000 now. The total system-wide sales of its restaurants were more than $8 billion in 1983. And his personal fortune amounted to some 600 million. That's like 42 bajillion now.
I can find this out, actually.
That's
600
crazy.
million in 1984 today.
42 bajillion.
I'm not sure that's a number. That's why I'm making sure of this. 600 would be 1.7 trillion. Dave's muted.
It's a lot.
Trillion or billion?
1.8. I'm sorry, 1.8.
I was like, God damn.
Jesus.
1.7 billion is what I wanted to
He
say.
would have to be Jesus to have
He owns the world. 1.7
Randy
trillion.
Kroc loves the little children. Oh,
All around the world.
He's worth $100 infinity
He is Tony
and
Stark and
13
Iron Man.
cents.
Speaking of worth a lot of money, January 27th, in a moment that would change the direction of one career forever, Michael Jackson catches on fire while filming a commercial for Pepsi. The deal with Pepsi had
it
been
happened to a nicer guy.
You're right. I'm not saying I
Right.
feel bad for him. It's just it happens. We have to cover it. The deal with Pepsi had been inked in November of '83 with the Jackson brothers signing a $5 million promotional contract, or
Even
$11
Tito?
million today, which is $15 million in today's money, by the way. Pepsi had begun an advertising campaign in 1983 entitled The New Generation. Michael Jackson was a huge part of it from the beginning and actually allowed Pepsi to use Billie Jean as its jingle. Here in 1984, Pepsi and the Jacksons were going to hold a simulated concert before as a backdrop for a commercial. During the walkthrough, pyrotechnics went off, lighting Michael's hair on fire.
She's just a girl that thinks I'm the one. But the kid is not my son.
I don't like it. I don't like the lyrics in retrospect. The ensuing fire caused Jackson to have second-degree burns on his scalp. Pepsi settled with Jackson shortly afterwards because of course, Michael sued, as he should have. But Jackson donated the entire $1.5 million settlement to the Brotman Medical Center with the burn unit of that hospital, renaming itself after Michael Jackson. Jackson would later on sign another deal with Pepsi, this time for $20 million.
When Michael Jackson's hair caught fire during the third take of an 80s Pepsi commercial, he was dancing. He had no idea his hairdo was ablaze.
White
The
Rain.
pop star kept on dancing down the stairs on the set until a friend ran up to him, wrestled him to the ground, and put it out.
Imagine being Michael, like, why is he running up to me? We're
Jackson
live now.
Oh, shit.
Jackson was already a solo star by this time, but recorded the video with his brothers from the Jackson 5 on this day. The video shoot involved pyrotechnics and an explosion meant that sent embers into Jackson's hair, catching it on fire. Makeup artist Karen Fay, who worked with Jackson for 27 years, testified in a later court case. I never saw anything like that in my life. This was someone I knew, and he was on fire. All his hair was gone, and there was smoke coming out of his head. Faye said that Jackson said that he continued dancing because I can't disappoint the audience.
Your head's on fire.
He collapsed and was taken to the hospital.
You're literally a ghostwriter trying to dance in front of people. No, it's fine. Guys, it's fine. It's fine.
Jackson's doctor, Stephen Hofland, said that the star was quite shaken up with a palm-sized area of second degree and small area of third degree burns.
It's like a hand size. Come on.
Jackson said in a tape message that after some major reconstructive surgery on my scalp after the stage incident, I became increasingly more dependent on painkillers to get me through my days of the tour.
Well, whose palm is it?
If it was Shaq,
Andre the Giant. By the way, not great. In August 1993, Jackson was accused of child sexual abuse by a 13-year-old boy, Jordan Chandler, and his father, Evan Chandler, because you got to have a father for that.
Have you guys watched? Just a sidebar. Have you guys watched Leaving Neverland?
No, but I heard it's phenomenal.
Whew! It's very well done, very well produced, but it is hard to watch.
Allow me to contribute. Jordan said he had engaged with sex acts of kissing, masturbation, and oral sex with Jackson. Gross. While Jordan's mother initially told police she didn't believe it, her position wavered after a few days. Money.
I only ask because I believe one of the subjects in the documentary is Evan Chandler.
Yeah, because he was
Jordan Chandler.
Jordan Chandler.
Well, no, it was Evan.
Michael Jordan.
Jordan Evans.
Steve Jordan. Bob Evans.
Evan was recorded discussing his intention to pursue charges which Jackson used to argue that he was the victim of jealous father trying to extort money, probably. Jackson's older sister, LaToya, which is weird, accused him of being a pedophile, which also weird. And then she later retracted this, saying she'd been forced into it by her abusive husband. Which,
triple weird.
Oddly enough, is weirder.
You hit the weird trifecta in that sentence.
Correct.
My asshole husband
Jackson's home. Exactly. Police raided Jackson's home in August and found, by the way, not weird, 2 legal large format books featuring young boys playing, running, and swimming in various states of undress. I'm sorry, what? Playing, running in various states of... Okay. Jackson denied knowing of the book's content and claimed if they were from someone who sent them to him and he did not open them.
Because that happens all the time.
Yeah, I often get books sent to me where I just don't open them. What?
Oh, hey,
believe
thanks
that.
for this book.
I believe that.
Let me
'cause
go
you
ahead and
can't
put this
read.
directly in my bookcase without opening it.
Naked boys? No, not interested.
This is a really odd topic for a coffee table book you've picked here.
By the way, we're going back. Jordan Chandler gave the police a description of Jackson's genitals. A strip search was made, and the jurors felt the description was not a match.
What?
Good news for Michael Jackson. This actually became the impetus for his song Black or White.
So did they actually show his junk in trial? Now I have questions. I
They
didn't
did
know
not, but I loved your pause and went, ugh.
that.
Yeah, thank you.
Now I have questions. Like, did they show his junk in trial? You're like, yeah, you're right. Doesn't match the description.
They made me pull down my pants.
Michael's
pull out
dick
my
only has
penis.
ears, and this one does not.
All right. Now, Jackson may have not molested this child.
They definitely
But
allegedly
you know what
did.
they say about smoke and fire? And I'm not talking about a scalp this time.
Well
Smoke, fire. Yeah, he's a kid diddler. Thank you.
Definitely allegedly.
Definitely.
Definitely.
He's dead. He ain't suing us.
That's true.
Fuck that guy.
What about the other
Kid
Jacksons? Do they
diddler.
still have
Who?
the other Jackson 5?
I don't care. LaToya knew about it.
All right, here we go. Timmy, pick a number between 1 and 10.
42.
Dave, pick a number between 1 and 10.
6.
Well, I guess just out of default.
Oh, it's time for Game Fave. Have you seen it?
You slip her the hot beef injection.
You're so wrong. That means it's my turn. Let's go to Timmy's Trivioki.
Figaro. Figaro, 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 Figaro.
That's not Tosca.
Ugh, my ears. My neck. My back.
Yep, I remember. Everyone remembers when Elvis performed that.
Jamaica. Ooh, I want to take her to Bermuda. Bahama. Come on, pretty mama. Ilana, Montego, baby.
That was
Puff
the first.
Puff Kid,
All right.
motherfucker. I don't know why you screw it up.
You picked number 1 through 10, 42. You screwed that up. You
That's
did
the
that.
winner. All right, song number 1. Hold on. It's a good week. Song number 1. Clue number 1. This is a song by American rock band Van Halen.
Jump.
I'm not even mad about that.
Wrecking machine.
I'm not even mad at it.
Think you know what I
Think
can't
you
see what I mean. Might as well jump.
Might as well jump. Go ahead.
Jump. 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 Go ahead and jump.
The remix by
Right.
Criss Cross was better.
It was.
They'll make you jump. All right. Song number 2, clue number 1. This is a song written and performed by American musician Billy Joel from his Nice Studio album, An Innocent Man. Released September 1983 as the album's second single.
Billy Joel in 84.
Piano Man.
Would definitely not be.
Incorrect. Clue number 2. According
Keeping
to
the
an
Faith.
interview with that's Bon Jovi. According to an interview,
Keeping the Faith
Howard-
is Billy Joel, you dumbass.
That's true. It is.
according no, keep the faith. That's Bon Jovi.
Keeping the Faith.
Whatever. According to an interview with Howard Stern,
Faith Hill.
Joel had originally titled the something
Uptown
else.
Girl.
Dave, I'm so excited about this last song, by the way.
I had that tape.
Song number 3, clue number 1. This is a song written by the Bee Gees and
I'm sorry, you said the
recorded
Bee
by a
Gees?
completely different group.
You say the Bee Gees?
Bee Gees.
Saturday
boy.
Night Fever.
And recorded by a completely different group. This was named after clue number 2. This was named after an Ernest Hemingway novel. The song was originally written for Diana Ross and an R&B style, but later reworked for the duo that sang it.
To Kill a Mockingbird.
Clue number 3. This is one of Dave's faves.
How dare you?
This song?
The stream.
Oh, shit.
That is what we are.
No one in between. How can we be wrong?
You know what, Timmy? We'll play.
Sail away.
We can rely on each other.
Make
From
it
another to another.
We'll play, Timmy. We'll play.
I can see you with
Well, allow me to introduce the man who actually can follow directions when I ask him to pick a number between 1 and 10.
Oh, it's time for Dave's Fave. Have you seen it?
You slipper the hot beef injection.
Once again, one movie this week.
Oh,
Oh, good. Because I got to pee.
This movie was actually in theaters December of 1983, but we rolled it through because there wasn't shit for the month of January.
love it. Big
With
fan.
a budget of around $25 million, our one and only
Karate
movie
Kid.
this week grossed more than $66 million at the box office and is a certified cult classic. This movie is also one of Dave's faves. This is an American epic crime drama. In 1980 Miami, a determined Cuban immigrant- Scarface. Timmy C with a 2-0 lead for the month.
I mean, it's kind of racist that he was like, Dave said Miami, and he was like, Scarface. It was Scarface.
Go pee. Hurry
Right.
up so we can finish.
Pause.
Start the show.
Stop. All right, now.
Let's go ahead and start the show. Mid-Atlantic Championship Wrestling from January 28th, 1984. Your announcer is Bob Cottle. We start the show with the ever-funkadelic sounds of Mid-Atlantic Championship Wrestling, and we show some blurry images of the top stars, and I can't tell who any of them are.
Buddy Rose.
I don't
This
think he
better
was one
be
of them.
good because WWF just crowned Hogan. So
Well, I mean, that didn't matter much at the time. It didn't take long, but it didn't matter
Should've.
much at the time. Match 1. Speaking of the WWF, Wahoo McDaniel and Mark Youngblood take on Allie Bay and Bill White. Bay and White get offense in this match, but it's only on Youngblood. And then here comes Wahoo. Wahoo's out
Yoo-hoo.
quick. More offense by the enhancement team on Youngblood until Youngblood hits an enziguri for the win.
Oh, shit.
Dave, what do you think of this tag match?
I love old wrestling shows and gymnasiums where you can see basketball hoops in the background. I actually thought this was a big arena show, and then they turned the camera, and I'm like, shit, there's a basketball goal. I never heard of Ali Bay, so I had to look him up. Holy crap. If the reports I read are correct, that dude was near 70 here.
Hey, check
So
out.
many old guys in Mid-Atlantic.
2 Indians. And we're talking TP, not Dot.
Well, it should also be mentioned before everyone I can't believe we just called them that. That's what they're calling them.
Yeah.
Bob Cottle's calling them.
To be fair, real Indians don't care if you call them Dot. Because they are.
Okay.
I don't know who this Tommy Hawk is, but he has great chops. Takes a hell of a bowl to get that Wahoo haircut there. That's like it is perfectly straight around.
It's
Hell of a
top-notch.
bowl. Hell of a bowl.
It's high quality.
It's high quality bowl cut on a Native American, not
Over 50-year-old man.
an Indian. Because we've learned now that they're that's not what you call them.
Bob Cottle is now holding up the NWA television title belt as they're holding a tournament to crown a new champion. There's 8 wrestlers remaining in the tournament. We will see Mark Youngblood take on Bob Orton. Oh, wait, no. Mistake. That's Barry Orton.
Oh,
That's a hell of a letdown. Johnny Weaver takes on Assassin number 2.
not
Dick
number
Slater,
3.
Right, not 1 or 3, number 2. Dick Slater, who's the current U.S. champion, against Dory Funk Jr., and then Ernie Ladd takes on Greg Valentine.
Johnny Weaver literally looks like he's 74 years old here.
Everybody.
How do we not get the right Orton for this tournament?
I love it.
Fred
Oh,
Orton.
Bob Orton. Yeah. Barry's cheaper. All right, we'll take it. And Valentine looks like he is on some high quality cocaine here.
Over under, haven't done this in a while. Johnny Weaver, plus or minus 50.5 here. On the
54.
Oh, way over. Way over.
He was born in East St. Louis, Illinois, November 17th, 1935, making him 49 here at this show.
Told you.
What?
Yeah,
No way.
49. When we come back from break, here is the U.S. champion, Dick Slater. Dick Slater says that he wins the TV title. He's going to give it to someone who deserves it. Cool. It already doesn't matter. Congrats. Slater's all declaring himself the world champion as they show footage of Slater pinning Ric Flair, although it was with the help of Bob Orton, not Barry, holding
Not
Flair's
Barry
foot,
was
not
missing
Barry,
from
Bob
this
Orton.
one. Cool.
a la
Okay.
Heenan and Roy at WrestleMania 5. Slater says that he doesn't drink or smoke. There's no chance that's correct.
There's no chance. Zero.
Am I the only one that only knows of Dick Slater from being in the mid-90s WCW as part of Colonel Parker's stud stable?
He was with an tag team with Mike Enos after that called Rough and Ready or something like that.
He was with
Bunkhouse.
Bunkhouse Buck and Dirty
Bunkhouse
Dick
Buck.
Slater.
Yeah,
They were WCW tag champs at one point.
they were. They beat Harlem
All right.
Heat.
Yeah.
So, Dick Slater on the mic, less than magic, by the way. Just giving that out there.
Yeah, it was-
And so, can we, to expound on you, TJ, can we believe a guy that his nickname was Dirty Dick? He didn't smoke or drink? Really?
no chance.
How do you become dirty if you don't smoke or drink?
Maybe he was talking about crack and water.
I don't
Listen,
smoke crack. I don't drink water.
Listen,
just
I don't
dehydrate.
smoke meth. I don't drink San Pellegrino. But after that, it's up for grabs. Match 2.
That Mick Ultra is shit. All right.
Match 2, Ivan Koloff with Gary Hart takes on Angelo Mosca Jr. for the Mid-Atlantic
Junior.
Championship with
Junior.
with Angelo Mosca on commentary. The story of the
Senior.
match is the power and craftiness of the wily veteran champion Koloff against the youth and exuberance of Angelo Jr. I actually didn't hate his dad at color
Ugh,
I
he was
did.
horrible.
yelling like a dad because that's what a dad would do. If I didn't make it something
That's why you don't put
believable.
him on commentary.
Well, I don't make those decisions. They make those decisions. I have to be honest here. I don't know what Mosca Jr. did before or after this match, but this match had me. This was a good match. I really enjoyed it, especially with the 10-minute time limit. A sorely missed item in wrestling today. We get down to 1 minute remaining, and Koloff goes for the cover, but Mosca begins to fight back until Koloff slaps on the abdominal stretch. Right when the time expires, Mosca counters. I loved this match. I liked it.
The Mid-Atlantic Championship was ugly.
Oh, the belt was awful. For sure.
Not much on Mosca Jr. online. Doesn't look like he ever had much of a career because he was horrible on the microphone.
Correct.
We'll get to that.
His dad wasn't much better.
And his dad on commentary was hot garbage. That was just brutal to watch. And the NWA was so notorious for these time limit draws, never allowing their champs to ever really get over, I feel like.
Except for Sting and Flair.
All I could think was when the bell sounded, it sounded a little drunk. It was like ding.
You make the wrong sound. Moo.
So because he's pointing out the 10-minute time limit, we're definitely going to a time limit draw. Okay.
Almost always.
And Moscow's headlock is terrible.
Me, Mosca.
Whatever. Or he could be Moscow. He'd be a better Russian heel as Moscow.
Koloff is wrestling for Moscow.
No. Koloff is fighting for Moscow.
What I
And
just
maybe
said.
you shouldn't let the father of the wrestler commentate.
I liked it. It made it feel real.
Of course it did, pussy.
I don't know what that means. Match 3. JYD coming out to some weird ass music. Yes, I know it's WWE.
Grab them cakes. Oh, I don't care.
It wasn't even
Grab
grab
them cakes.
It was just like, hey, Jim Johnston, make it sound like you're like the fired band member of Kiss from 1973. Take on Bob Roop for JYD's North American Championship of Mid-South. Now, back in the day,
if he came out and I hear voices in my head. They
If he had Randy Orton's music?
Yes.
that would be great. Now, back in the day, even in the WWF, showing another promotion star was not uncommon. Vince McMahon was showing the Von Erichs around the same time, hoping to be able to get the Von Erichs. This way, if you could book the star, the crowd already knows who they are. You know, we weren't just expected to know everything and do nothing with our lives, but watch every wrestling promotion ever. And I have to do homework to figure out who's on these damn shows. Decent back and forth match. JYD hits power slam, gets the win.
It's not a power slam. It's called the thump.
The thump. He hits the thump.
I loved JYD as a kid. I would have been
Grab
going crazy
them
watching
cakes.
this shit.
I don't care. Grab them cakes.
So I never heard of this Roop guy before, so I looked him up. Apparently, he was not just some jobber wrestler like I thought he was, though. He actually had quite the career and won a slew of titles in the NWA.
He did.
Whatever.
He eventually retired in 1988 due to a neck injury suffered in a car crash. He also ran a wrestling school in Davie, Florida, and an early student of his was a young Lex Luger.
Oh, well, he's obviously a good trainer.
Maybe the promo skills need Jesus.
How'd Lex Luger end up?
Multi-time world champion.
Yeah.
Also in a wheelchair.
What are you doing?
Drunk
Are you
Tim's
gonna
an
finish?
asshole.
Here's an asshole.
I already said it was the thump. Ass clown.
Why are we watching Mid-South matches during Mid-Atlantic?
Well,
What
if
is
you were
going
listening,
on?
I told you why.
By the way, dog looks like $1 million. I like it.
It wouldn't last long, so I hope you took a picture of it. When we come back from break, Paul Jones is here in a tuxedo with the Assassins as he pitched to some footage with Jimmy Valiant trying to tear off the mask of Assassin number 2. Jones is challenging Valiant to a match with Valiant and Dory Funk Jr. against the Assassins. It's kind of about all the great talking managers of the 1980s. Paul Jones was so prominent and lasted so long. I mean, we've already seen Gary Hart in this show.
How long did Paul Jones feud with Boogie Woogie Man? Because
Forever.
I've listened to What Happened When, and they were covering like 1987.
Most of the 70s and almost all of the 80s.
And he was feuding with Boogie Woogie Man.
They still have beef to this day.
He's gonna cut hair off of him at some point. Just Jimmy Valiant, please stop feuding with him.
Please.
You're gonna lose your hair.
Move on with your life. Yeah. Match 4, Ernie Ladd with Gary Hart takes on Vinny Valentino. It is something else to watch Ernie Ladd wrestle even this late into his career. 2 words, squash match. Ladd gets the win.
Ernie Ladd was great, man.
He moved phenomenally.
And his mic work was awesome.
Yes.
Yeah. I hate that I missed his career. He would be epic these days in wrestling.
Absolutely.
As a nasty heel that could really talk. Yeah.
Greg the Hammer Valentino. Is that who this is?
So what's fun is if this is the same Vinny Valentino, he would actually show up on Nitro in the 90s, tagging with Greg Valentine, but he gained like 300 pounds and dyed his hair blonde. I'm not even joking.
Yeah, probably has. Ernie Ladd is 87 years old here. Do you think Assassin number 1 was upset about being left out of this 8-man tournament because they had Assassin number 2 in it?
Maybe he's going to challenge Dick Slater for the U.S. title. I don't know.
No, he's going to challenge Assassin number 1.
He was feuding with
Look
Deano
here,
4.
Motherfucker! Deano 4.
I was number 1.
That's amazing. That's good.
Little known fact, one of the hotly contested Charlotte area basketball games amongst 2 highly touted high schools was going to happen the night before. Sorry. That's why we have the basketball goals down. Charlotte Mayo beat the hell out of Charlotte
Flair.
Whatever. Yeah, Flair the night before. I'm so shocked. Ernie Ladd won. Fuck. What are we doing here?
As you should. It's Timmy. They're doing everything we say we miss about these old TV shows.
No, they're not.
Squash match. They should do it more often. They should try it.
Yeah.
Match 5. Hans Schroeder takes on Rufus R. Freight Train Jones. Well, this kind of ruins that. Rufus Jones is in the WWE Hall of Fame, but here he looks like he hadn't seen a gym in, well, ever. Shocker, Jones wins with a headbutt because, well, you know.
Freight Train Jones was 50 years old here, keeping up with the trend of senior citizens wrestling in the NWA.
And they're all winning. That's the worst part.
And they're all winning. Gotta put over the young guy.
I really need to get educated on most of these old school NWA guys because I haven't heard of any of these dudes.
Rufus looks like he's a 97-year-old Bobo Brazil.
I wonder who's older between Bobo Brazil and Rufus Jones. I don't know that.
All I can think was Ricky Schroeder really let himself go. Rufus delivers the worst elbow in history.
Bobo Brazil was.
And by the way, Rufus may be the safest wrestler I've ever seen because he doesn't touch anyone. It's literally like you can see it. Like, I'm gonna punch you now.
Well, this match was 6 minutes. They did nothing.
Well, Rufus did. Rufus didn't touch him in 6 minutes.
After this match, I guess you'd call it, we see Dory Funk Jr. as he calls Paul Jones stupid. He's not wrong. Funk accepts the challenge for him and Valiant. Then Valiant just wanders out and starts yelling and screaming. Then he starts a fight with a man that's going to be his tag team partner. What is happening here? Then here comes Angelo Mosca Jr. with his dad, and you can tell this kid is green because he's stumbling all over this promo.
Terrible.
Mosca invented the bloodline in 1984. For the record, he did say it. I get this promo. Not how I would have ended the show. Valiant should have closed the show.
Boogie Woogie Man without a beard is weird. I've never seen that dude without a long ass beard down to his belly button.
Correct. It was weird.
That was weird.
All I thought was, wow, mismatched tag team. One that can talk and one that is hugging his daddy. Okay. And then the guy who lost the time limit draw earlier. What?
It's not important.
Why is that? Okay. And then Senior notices that Junior struggling with his promo and he takes over. And it makes for Welcome to Mid-Atlantic in
A
1984.
really terrible promo.
Yeah.
That's what it makes for. You know who else cut a terrible promo today? We did.
Dave.
And if you enjoyed this week's episode, please let us know. Give us that 5-star review ever get this podcast. Make sure to follow our show on Twitter at FF Popcast, on Instagram at Filter Free Podcast. Kirk sucks. And follow our network at Filter Free Net. As for us, you can find us all on our social media platforms at Timmy C.
At Timmy C 1979.
Dollar Bill Dave.
At Dave in the HSV, but I'm in Twitter jail.
That is actually true. And I am at T Stevens 91. Next week we cover Dave. What was that show you recommended for us?
That was
So
Timmy.
we're doing Rumble.
Timmy.
2006.
From 2006.
It's a Raw from 2006.
Was it Raw? Okay, because you cut off the show title.
This is all terrible.
Monday Night Raw from January of 2006. It's college bowl season. We have two of the greatest games ever. The Super Bowl's in February, so we're not covering that. Philip Seymour Hoffman of Hunger Games fame wins a Golden Globe and so much more. This has been the Filter Free Podcast, and so long for now.
Joke of the week.
Fucking terrible. This show.
What's the difference between hungry
Games
and horny?
Mm.
Where you stick the cucumber?